in general, not a media thing, but in general, like, because I'm the last person. I don't burden people that I teach though with what they got to do for the nation. When they show and prove that they're the true and living God, then I'm telling them like, yo, you're not here in this universe alone. And then now your responsibilities come. But in general, I'm here just sharing and representing the school, sharing freely. But if the people we're teaching are not young enough, right? If let's go through the ages though. If they're too young, then let's say our students and the people we're dealing with are too young to write a magazine, to add on to newspapers, things like that, right? That's one thing, right? That's a delightful dilemma, right? Because we want them all young. You know what I'm saying? So we think of different things to do for them, right? If they're of the age to write, and all of our students are 20s, 30s, shit like that, then that means that they're not being told what to do for this nation. And they're not doing it. You know? And then that's something that we have to look into. And I think it's more the latter. You know? That who we're teaching and who we're building with, how are they giving back, to the nation? So I don't know. I think if, as a whole, I'm saying this as a whole, then we talk to everyone that we have and say, what are you going to add on with this nation? That something has to be added on. Because when I learned what knowledge means, right? Remembered in perfection, my enlightener, that was the main assignment. Once I had knowledge 120. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Right, so that's why I like to focus on
what are you doing for the nation?
Right, and what's within my control, because I don't have control over, any other forms of media. I have some control over this. What can I do? I pose a question to myself, and then I pose it to anybody who may be able to have an answer. Well, what can I do to, with this that can help enhance what, is being done? How can I enhance what you have control of? See what I'm saying? Like, how can I add on to make it to whereas, what I'm doing is going to enhance what you're doing, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. In your travels, you're going all over this country, interviewing, and you develop relationships and contacts. So, in that way, with those contacts, you could be able to generate content through the contacts. For instance, you know somebody in Arkansas, you know somebody in Wisconsin, you know somebody in California, you know somebody in Florida. What's going on? Now you have different reports from different regions. If there are 11 regions and you know people in every region, then getting an aggregation of different individuals in those regions of what's going on, what they're doing, how the ciphers, what happened at the local parliament, getting that information back, it starts to form a basis of content. So you have a network that can generate content, and then getting reports from those areas consistently can form the basis of a media project.
No, and I agree. Well, I'll say that on a solo level, it's a bit overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here shooting it, and then I gotta edit it. I gotta make sure that it's right and it's relevant to what's happening. So developing a system as well as a team that is in tune with that system is pivotal. I think.
And then speaking, using self as an example, we had a determined idea as far as doing an aggregation of the best media or the top media people in the nation. And I personally had trials and tribulations that removed me from the scene.
Right.
So even though I was spearheading that idea, because of my personal trials and tribulations, I wasn't involved with it for a while, and then it kind of went astray.
Right, and
So-
that's why I
and that
emphasize
happens-
a system. I didn't cut your wisdom, but I emphasize a system.
Yeah,
So
but
when
even
you do go through it, it's
but even
still,
when you have a system, sometimes there's dissatisfaction that happens within the system, and the system itself falls apart.
Mhm.
And so a system is only as strong as the components that comprise the system. So even if you remove yourself, there still has to be people capable of being consistent and to keep the determined idea going. So, and a lot of times when you have the initial start of the idea, you can't see 5 years down the line, will this person burn out? Will I have personal difficulties? Will it be trials and tribulations? Will there be a situation where my old dad returns that's going to impact me in a way that takes me mentally out of the game and emotionally out of the game? You can't see those things initially. And I think that's why it's important also you have to have the next generation and have a person, a team has to develop a team.
Yeah, that's my point there. Developing a team.
But the team has to develop a team.
Right, and that hence that's the system.
Like
I'm
in the
talking
spook
about.
who sat by the door, he said that when he was teaching you in positions, you had to know 3 positions back and 3 positions forward. So if anything happened, you can move backwards and forward. But it's hard to implement. When they said many are called, but they're chosen a few. But I mean, sometimes the call comes and none come. Not even many. There's a call. But
Right, nobody's really choosing themselves in the day.
Well, many are called, but no one's listening. No one's heeding.
If Mega did this.